Are we actually? Oh, there we go.
Hello. So, welcome to another Good Beer Live. This is like our 17th episode.
Wow,
Bloody
you
hell.
don't even know how many. Impressive.
Of this. Yeah, it's like really 17.
Nearly legal.
So yeah, it's pretty damn cool. I think just showcasing some beer from our good friends at Honest Brew. So, how are we doing, gentlemen? We've got here Jake and Rob, as you'll know. You probably me, you don't know actually, but yeah. So, what are you drinking currently? 3 beers or anything?
I'm on Firestone Walker's Nitro Merlin.
Lovely.
Oh, wow, nice.
Because I thought we haven't got a dark beer tonight, so this could just sit there, the head, sort of keeping it all nice and lovely.
Yeah, cool.
It's pretty good. I've had it a little while. I've had it a couple of months, that can, and I think it was a couple of months older when I brought it, but still banging.
Cool. And in an union glass as well.
This is my go-to beer glass, daily beer glass. It's just so nice to hold. It's like,
handy sort of. Yeah. Robert.
I've not actually got a beer in my glass at the moment. So I'm trying to figure out which left-handed giant beer I just finished. I just had a couple of drinks at my local kind of craft beer bar stroke shop, the Triangle in Shipley.
Sure.
For some reason, Untapped's not playing games. So I had a can of, as it was so fitting, a can of not Magic Rocks, California Shire.
Right.
Pale ale. All right. It's all right. It wasn't that great. But
fucking macro crap.
Exactly. It was better before the takeover.
Yeah, it's been a week in beer. I can't remember a week like it.
But then I had a left-handed giant IPA, which was lovely. Which name I cannot remember. I think it was a collab with Mother Kelly's.
Oh right.
I've got like Pretty Things or something like that. It was I can't remember. It was very nice. So and I've just troughed my dinner down, so I've got a bit of a salty mouth. So I want some thirst quenching ales.
Yeah.
Only fine ales though.
I'm just drinking the cream of craft beers. I know still.
Dirty animal.
Just as lagers go, it's okay. I've had some worse ones recently, so but yeah. So
that's reassuring.
Yeah, it's just
nice, but I have had worse.
So have you guys had anything from
Double barreled?
Yes.
I've not. No, I mean there's a bit of I think they're kind of from the Reading kind of area, aren't they?
Yeah, Reading.
Yeah, I mean they've not been going long. I think they launched at Craft Beer Rising in 2018.
Okay.
A bit of buzz about. I mean, I think it started out tiny little kind of like couple like one barrel kind of situation. It's a couple, and they. I mean, I think they started off as like home brewing and have quite kind of rapidly increased their capacity now. I can't remember what they're on. Are they on like 15 barrels or something like that? If I remember recently, I was listening to them talking, actually been interviewed at Craft Beer Rising this year by Emma Inch over at Fermentation Radio, so which is definitely worth checking out. It's a nice little interview.
Yeah. I mean, they've got like a 12 tap room at their place and everything as well. It's like it's of a size. It's of a certain size now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds really good because they get a lot of. Hello.
You there?
Okay.
Yeah, you're here.
Yeah, that's right. Computer is definitely playing up for some reason.
If you go, we'll vamp. We'll keep it going.
Yeah, just.
But yeah, the only beer I've had from him is Parker. Actually, before we knew we were going to do this, I did have a can of that. So, but I'll keep it to myself until we try that one.
So
cool. I just want to show this. I don't think it's going to play ball. The computer's running far too slow for anything like this.
What's Craig got lined up here? He's got some special effects.
No, it's not. So far, it's not very special. So it's
It's effective though.
it sounds good, but it's not. I don't even know if this is going to work. Share.
Right, well, Craig's sorting himself out. We've got Ollie from Pint Size in the chat saying evening, gents, and Peter from the Clueless Drinker saying good evening, lads.
Oh,
the cream of YouTube right there in 2 comments.
Wow, exactly.
My favourites.
This is not going to work. So let's crack on with the first bit.
So who's introducing the first one?
I'll go for it. I'll go for this one.
I'll do it. Oh, go on.
All right. This is Place at the Table. This is a Norwegian table beer coming in at 3.3%. This is brewed in collaboration with Duration, which is good, nice to say. Collaboration with Duration. Probably Duration more known for collabs at this point. They have released some of their own stuff, but
at someone else's brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was quite curious when I saw this. I was thinking, is the beer, is the style of the beer Norwegian or is the table Norwegian?
Yeah, I don't know.
Norwegian wood.
Well, it's the wood, isn't it? The wood effect.
The yeast is Voss Kivek.
Yeah.
That.
Oh yeah. He's a nice guy.
Is that some kind of yeast that makes something specifically Norwegian?
Yeah, well, because I mean, Norway's like known for their homebrewing scene, isn't it? So I don't know if that's a.
It's a type of beer, isn't it? Is it kvass? Kvasser, something like that? Is it?
Yeah.
A beer? Yeah. I know Beavertown back in the day had used a similar kind of thing, hadn't they, to make a traditional ale.
It's got hops and hop extract, which is like, okay, that's interesting.
Cloudwater put it in all their beers, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've lost it. I've forgotten now because I used to say it in like every Cloudwater review. CO2 alpha acid extract, something like that.
Yeah.
That's all they use for their. That's all that That's all they use for their bittering.
Yeah. Dextrose CO2 extract. I remember saying that so many times back in the day.
Yeah. So.
Best before April.
Pretty pale, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Best before 18th of August. Yeah.
Very pale kind of golden beer.
Mm-hmm. Mind you, I've got a light there, so it's like
whoa, luminescent.
Yeah, so it's like, here it goes. The sun's coming up.
I'm going to go haze for days on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
on the official scale.
On the spectrum, that's what I'd like to say.
But
the aroma's it's storming out of the glass.
It's just,
it really is.
Yeah. As soon as I open the can, it's like, poof.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go. Cheers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Bloody hell.
Lovely, juicy, kind of like sweet orange is the first thing that grabs me.
Yeah, not fleshy.
Not bloody. So it's hot with citra.
Yeah.
So they're saying hops are citra, and I don't know if it's the citra extract or what, but
yes,
just very juicy.
Yeah, but I think there's also like quite a nice like grassy edge to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A bit of that old kind of Jacob's cracker kind of malt kind of backbone to it.
Yeah.
Dextrin malt.
Dextrin monohydrate. Monohydrate, yeah.
Yeah, that's
normally. It's another Cloudwater.
Yeah, it's Cloudwater, isn't it?
Yeah. But not anymore. It's all changed, don't they? Keep changing it.
Yeah. Barley, oats, obviously.
Oh yeah, so yeah, got some golden naked oats, wheat.
Suitable for vegans. There you go. It smells lovely though, doesn't it?
That does smell really good.
Yeah, it's got a kind of a nice. It's like although it's quite an intense aroma, it smells like a kind of a light.
Yeah, I'm getting like a fruit split ice lolly from it.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Smells damn. Should we go for a taste?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Go for it.
Cheers. Oh yeah, that's lovely. That's exactly what I wanted right now.
Yeah, that's like, well, yeah. Drinkability, wow, bang.
Yeah, this is like crusher.
3.3%, so it's going to be being a table beer. But yeah.
It's that kind of watery orange bit of
yeah.
I always get which is the large yellow melon? Is that cantaloupe or is that honeydew? I can never remember.
Honeydew.
Honeydew's the big one, isn't it? Yeah, it's got a bit of that honeydew melon going on as well. It's nice and watery, but kind of
slight sweetness.
Yeah, it's got that little bit of sweetness, but it's not overt.
Yeah, it's just delicate. It's a delicate beer.
Yeah, sort of finishes completely dry, doesn't it? Look.
Yeah, but
keeps you going back in, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, just you're there.
It almost like evaporates. It's like, did I actually take a sip?
Yeah, it's like gone.
Yeah, it's like kind of
sherbet. This in the summer.
Kind of sherbet sorbet thing on as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that.
Yeah, I'm definitely picking up that Voss Kvik yeast. Yeah, definitely.
yeah, for sure.
Excuse our ignorance to that specific yeast, Voss Kvik.
I did see that when I was doing a bit of research and then just completely forgot to look it up. So, that sounds interesting.
Because it's dry, but it's not bone dry. It's not like dry. You can't feel it drying out on your teeth, can you?
No.
Let's give that yeast. Oh, I think that is. Oh, I'll go on the malt miller because they're nice people. So what does it say about Sigmund Voss Kvik yeast? So it is a singular strain of Saccharomyces cerevisiae, isolated sample of Kvik, generously provided by Sigmund, blah blah blah. Traditionally used to produce Norwegian farmhouse ale. Strain faster fermenting with good attenuation. They all like a well attenuated beer. A light, earthy spice marked tartness and a unique ester profile of orange peel. Strain is prone to forming incredible large flocks, unlike other yeasts I've seen before, yet still remains highly attenuative. Blah de blah de blah. Ferment what? Yada yada. These temperatures. This yeast will exhibit a slight, more restrained ester profile and ferment a little slower at cooler temperatures. Blah 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 blah. I think you get the gist there.
Yeah.
So it's a traditional yeast used for traditional kind of Norwegian farmhouse ales, but highly.
But that's good attention to detail from the brewery there, isn't it? That's they could have used a similar strain, but like they've obviously. I mean, maybe it's like relatively easy to get. I don't know these things, but it's good attention to detail.
It seems like it's a white labs.
Yeah, it says Norwegian farmhouse table beer, so makes sense.
But it's not kind of weird or angular. Or it's not. It's not added a weird, off-putting quality. I mean, from what I can understand, maybe it's meant to give a certain estery quality, but not much. So hence, that's good for a farmhouse table beer, specifically Norwegian.
Yeah.
But from just reading that, it seems like it's a reliable yeast. It's a real kind of hard-working, reliable yeast, which can't go wrong with that, really.
It's a cracking beer. It's I mean, we've had a few other kind of table beers before on the show, and obviously elsewhere. So it's kind of like working out where this one kind of fits in with them. It's definitely it's got a slight thing going on about it. I think, whereas I don't think I've had one like this. It's got, although it's very obviously it's in that realm of style. It's got a little bit more going on, I think, than a lot of the others I've tried.
Obviously, Colonel's been the kind of in the UK the kind of the one that kind of sparked off the British interest in making table beers. And I think some of them, when they're a bit low ABV, have a bit of a Alka-Seltzer type kind of quality, that kind of a dissolved aspirin kind of like note. This doesn't. Oh, it's got just a lovely fruity edge. as we said earlier, it's delicate, it's soft, but it's got enough going on to keep you interested.
Yeah.
And it's not overly aggressive. You could make this. I mean, this has got citra in it. You could bang a load of hops in it and make it something that it shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for what it is, 3 point. What was how strong is it again?
3.3.
3.3. Yeah. Well, all day long.
Yeah. That's damn good.
Yeah, my computer's really decided it doesn't want to play today.
So I'll pull up the old Untapped screen if I can remember how to do the screen share thing. There we go. Brap.
There you go. I can do that bit. That works.
Oh well. Unlucky.
I can present.
Oh, not quite yet.
So the place at the table now we've got is 3.63. I mean, it's just a funny old situation, that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's quite a high grade for this kind of beer.
Yeah.
So nobody's going to be kind of like getting all kind of like they're not going to be dancing in the trouser department for a beer like this, because that's just people who rate beers don't really kind of like get too excited by something quite simple and refined. But yeah, 145 ratings added this year, actually, 19th of February. So it's a relatively new beer.
Yeah, 60 in the last 30 days.
Yeah. So collaboration with Duration. As when are you guys doing a collab with Duration? I think it's a obligatory thing at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, mine's scheduled for next week. I'm just gonna. They asked me to buy all the kit, but
cheeky buggers. Why don't you just finish the brewery?
I think they got like bats. They got bats that they've got to get rid of.
Gun. Or a large net. But yeah, it seems just flicking through these, I think you get quite a consistent kind of rating of between like 3.5, 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For these kind of fours, there's a good amount of fours, which there you go. Which this one, I don't know if you guys can see this one. I think this is probably my favourite bit.
Yeah.
This Henrik L. He's give it a 4, but he also comments, "Don't touch my hair."
Mm-hmm. Wise words.
I think that sums up this beer in a nutshell, really.
Random.
Don't touch my hair.
Cheers for that, Rob. Nice one.
All right.
Yeah, it's there's still lots of. I mean, this is nice. We're doing this. There's so much going on this week. It's kind of like.
Yeah.
But should we talk about that a bit later? We'll get
a
couple of beers. Yeah, get a
couple of beers in so we get really into the nitty gritty of it.
Get Larry.
He's just dangling the carrot.
Yeah.
Dangling the
like bang your head against, like bang your head against the table, isn't it? It's like,
you don't want to blow your load too early. You want to wait it out. So we've got a few more comments. So Pint Size said he's had the double-barreled and elusive Berkshire represent collab this afternoon. Yuzu sour pale ale. That sounds right up my street. Lemony wetness and a little meh, but a decent barbecue beer. And is now cracking open a Magic Rock Sorcery. #triggered.
Wow.
The Clueless Stringer says, "I like my women the way I like my beer, tenuous."
Highly attenuated, I'd say.
Yeah. And Charles Dunn says, "Evening, Rob and the lads.
Hey.
Magic Rock sellout."
Rob and the rest.
Yeah. Rob and the other two.
It's like when you get time in a day.
Yeah, that was funny.
From anybody's names.
Yeah, we were steaming though, weren't we? So, to be fair.
No, that was the start of the day.
That was the first beer.
I know. It's just well.
Who's doing the honours on this one?
I'll do it then.
Go for it.
So this is a pale ale. Is it Parker?
Parker.
How you pronounce it? Park A.
Parker.
Pale ale, 4.5% ABV.
Yeah.
So yeah, this contains Cascade, Centennial, and Citra dry hop. Malts are extra pale malt, golden naked oats, and then the yeast. Here we go, another one. Windsor S04. Allergens, obviously barley oats.
Oh, so it's probably got. I don't. Well, maybe I'm reading a bit too much into it, but when I think of SO4, that's a different yeast to Windsor. So maybe they're kind of using two. Maybe they're using two yeasts in this.
It's a mixed firm
Windsor,
beer,
comma SO4.
Yeah,
there you go.
Like a
440ml can, as they all are. Best before the same date, I think, is the 18th of August. Right.
So I presume they're using like a mobile canning unit, hence why they've got the same like canning date.
Yeah.
Yes, I have had this one before, and I really enjoyed it. But I saw a comment earlier, I think on your Twitter, Rob, where someone said that they thought it was a bit ropey. So it'd be interesting to see, because you'd think it'd all be from the same batch, wouldn't you?
Yeah, probably. I mean, very pale, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's odd. It's kind of hazy, but clear at the same time.
The table beer is hazier. Which
okay.
But it's like all one color, isn't it? It doesn't have like that. Some really hazy beers have that like orange murk in the core, whereas this is like all that's probably why it looks sort of like got that clearness to it, because it's like just one color all the way down.
Yeah.
Lovely. If you give it a little swirl, you do get it does generate a nice like whipped up egg white kind of head.
Mm-hmm.
So well conditioned. So
it's a nice looking beer.
Play.
Yeah. Go right with it.
Absolutely. Lovely. Once again, the first thing that hits me is, do you know Refresher Sweets? You know,
yeah.
That was my first of all refreshers. It's got a spritz to it. It's got a sherbety note in there, but it's then a general citrus kind of like thing.
Yeah, pineapple.
It's got a lovely zip to it.
Mm.
Yes, I'm gonna say Kernel-esque in its.
Yeah, it's got that. There's that twang, isn't there? You get sometimes with Kernel beer. I find it's like reminding me of that.
Yeah, lemon lime. It's all peel for me. Orange peel, lemon peel, lime peel. It's not overtly dry. It's not, but it's got a lovely zesty, zesty quality to it.
Yeah, it's a strange one, because it is. I'm not picking up much more than that. It's not like you get like a malt character or anything like that, is it? It's it is just sort of like lovely spritzy lemon juice for me.
It's very pleasant.
Yeah.
That smells nice. Let's go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay. Got a little bit more bitterness, a little bit more body than the last one.
Yeah, there's a bit of bite, isn't there? It's a bit dry. There's like a prickly edge. It's almost like not just slightly earthy, just lurking in the background.
Absolutely, yeah, slightly earthy. Kind of like, it's got that, not like eating topsoil, but
no.
Do you know sometimes tastes can be like aromas?
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Earthiness. It's kind of like if you may indulge me for a second, it's kind of like a wet lawn. It's grassy. It's earthy. It's got a bit of minerality to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mind that. I don't mind it being a little bit bitter, because it kind of mean it's a natural progression from the table beer. That had a lovely softness to it. Where do you go from there? A bit more body, a little bit more bite. I think they could maybe pad out the kind of like hop flavor a bit, because when you were saying about the tang, you get a bit of a
aftertaste on the palate.
Lingering bitterness.
Lingering, yeah.
It's for me, it's slightly bordering on like a bit astringent.
Yeah, it's edging towards astringent.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
not unpleasant.
Just having more hop flavour.
Not unpleasant at all, is it? It's perfectly quaffable.
Yeah. Again, it's all about easy drinking, like quaffability, isn't it? On this one, they're not trying to rock your world. They're just trying to give you a decent beer.
Yeah, I think a bit of malt with a little bit more character would. I mean, I won't go Marisotto because I think that'd take you down a British. Because it's such a delicate beer as well. I think it's once again quite delicate. I think Marisotto might be a bit too much, but maybe a hint of Munich, maybe a hint of caramel might kind of just pad it out a little bit. But I guess maybe they just want it to be like uber pale. But I don't think as much as I like it, maybe it lacks a middle to it. It's all it's a bit of a one note.
Yeah, so, same as the aroma. It's like just one flavor. Boom, there it is, and then something to round it out would be nice. So like you say, some sort of like malt character, something. I don't know. It's hard to quite pinpoint, but it just feels like it's just missing a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing wrong with it. I mean, there's no problem at all. I mean, very well made beer.
Mm-hmm.
It's SO4 and stuff. I mean, for me, this is a little bit of a bit of a conflict for me. I mean, SO4, which is traditionally a British kind of ale yeast, and then you've got Cascade and Centennial and Citra. I think there's a potential kind of conflict there. If you're going to go down that dried yeast route, which a lot of small breweries do, USO5 would probably be a little or a derivative. White Labs WLP 001, probably a better yeast actually as quality goes. That'd be probably a better one to complement those kind of hops and that kind of malt bill. Because everything from that recipe is American.
Yeah,
but then the yeast is British, and I think that maybe that's where it's that kind of discourse.
Yeah, it's just in the background, that part, but the actual flavour wise, it's really pleasant, shining them hops, but it's just that slight underlying.
Yeah. When I had the can before, I had it while I was cooking, and I sort of finished it, and then I was like, I've just had like the whole can in like 7 minutes. It was one of those beers I sort of didn't really even think about it. I was just drinking it and sort of enjoying cooking. And I was like, well, I finished it.
I think they've been really good on cask.
Yeah.
I think cask, I mean, a nice tight northern head. Like add that thing that it's maybe slightly missing.
Mm-hmm. It's still a damn good beer.
Yeah, it is nice.
I mean, I've actually really enjoyed it. I like that slight kind of earthy dryness about it. It's, I do like that. I'll drink anything. But,
there you go. If you want a compliment.
Yeah, he was drinking Amstel before this, after all.
Yeah. But actually,
Amstel is fucking brilliant. Is this?
What Craig's trying to say is he's had worse.
He's had Amstel, and he's had actually worse than Amstel's.
Yeah. No, it's in the summertime as well with barbecue. Oh,
I'm gonna say that. Let's queuing someone up for a song.
Come on, go, Jerry. No, that's not who sang in the summertime, was it?
Yeah,
it was. Oh,
yeah, go, Jerry. Yeah.
I doubted myself. I said it, and then I was like, "Wait a minute."
I have more conviction in your Mungo Jerry knowledge. They're from your neck of the woods, I'm sure, aren't they? Or is it more Somerset, maybe?
Have you got the on-tap page for this?
Oh yes. I thought you were going to do that.
Yeah, but my computer my computer says no. So,
of course, it would be my absolute bloody honour.
I had a plethora of pages lined up, and then there you go.
A plethora of pages.
Share. Boom.
Oh,
Parker. Double barrel brewery. Polka. 12 grams per litre of Citra dry hop gives this crushable tropical fruit and citrus. It went from a fourth. Sorry, they're using some language in here, but I'm going to have to bring up. People from Double Barrel are watching. I'm enjoying your beer, but some of the language used in here, I think I've got to bring you up on. Gives you all the crushable tropical fruits. Crushable. We're gonna put a red pen over that one. Highlight that with a red. No, the green highlighter. Fruits and citrus could want from a 4.5 banger. I'm gonna highlight that as well.
A crushable banger.
You're gonna have to stay behind me after the lesson, and we'll discuss the use of those words. Followed with an ever so slightly bitter finish. I think there is quite a prominent bitter finish myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
3.69 it's got overall, which I think's kind of fair, but if you go, that's a higher rating than the previous one.
Yeah.
Which I think I thought the previous one was a better beer.
Mm. Yeah, so did I.
I can see this one being tweaked as they go.
Yeah. But I'd still buy it again. It's not. If I saw it around, I'd be like, yeah, get that.
Yeah.
And then so let's try and work out if they have done another batch and changed it slightly. But yeah.
And there's 431 total check-ins and 402 unique. So that's quite interesting. Yeah. Like most people who had this, obviously, once again, this was last year, so this was there's been so if over 400 check-ins, but this was added on the 18th of the 9th last year. So this has been knocking around a bit more. Mm-hmm. Maybe the availability, maybe it was one of the early ones that they did when they launched the brewery, but maybe not produced it all that often. Yeah, I mean, as you can see, as I'm scrolling down, a little bit more up and down on this one compared to the last one. Oh dear, Rufus G didn't like it. 1.5 Rufus G.
Rufus G.
I'm gonna have to expose some people with their usernames here. I'm from Coleridge Wines. Yeah. I'm looking for you with a funny name. Come on, where are you? Come on.
Funny name.
Somebody with a funny name or a really high rating. That's what I'm looking for you. I like this one. Jamie S. He bought it from Coleridge in Brum.
Yes, my lady.
Yes, my lady.
Doff of the cap.
Oh. So, anybody else? I'm quite curious if any. You can check if your friends have had it. Oh, any of my friends had it? Anybody? Oh, Charles, of course. It's been on at Coleridge, so yeah. So my mate Charles, over at the Beers Without Frontiers podcast, he gave it a 3.5. I think. Yeah, I think I'd go.
It's around there, isn't it? It's that sort of beer.
Oh, Seth liked it. This is Mr. Seth Bradley with the. He was a very critical beer drinker. Gave it 3.75. So I mean, if you're gonna impress my mate Seth, then good on you. This is picky.
Cheers for that one, Rob. Right, yeah. So at this stage, there's another plethora of information down in the Dropbox below. This doesn't include with the Good Beer Live code. The where is it? The GBL10 minimum spend of £29. You get £10 off. But it's all the information down there. They've got lots of where to discover a range of beers from the best independent
and other ones up there as well.
So but yeah, go check it out. There's plenty of info down there, and they've actually got a spring sale on at the moment as well, so you get up to 30% off. I assume it's still going. It's been going most of the week, but it's been on social media and whatnot. But yeah, our good friends at Honest Brew, so go and check them out.
I brought one of the I never really do it, these sort of blind boxes, but I brought one of their sort of 20 beers for £25 thing. I'm thinking now it's going to be full of the old Magic Rock beers.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong with that. I feel that's what's going to happen.
All the common
that'd be a horrendous situation to be in. 20 cans of Magic Rock for like £1 each.
Yeah.
That's okay then.
Yeah. But so what's your feelings on it, guys?
Go on,
the whole Magic Rock thing.
You can go first.
Yeah.
It's a big resounding no. No, well, it's not a surprise because they've got those accessible, saleable beers that you can put into Tesco's, because that was the big controversy at the start of the week, was they were going into Tesco's and then they've ended the week with 100% buyout. And for me, it's just not controversial anymore. It's just the way that these breweries are looking to keep relevant and expand and sort of secure their future. And that's the way I see it. And obviously, a lot of people. And it's always the thing. If you want to drink local and you want to drink independent, you can easily do that. If you're that worried about it, just don't drink Magic Rock beers anymore.
I mean, for me, as long as the quality doesn't go down, I don't care. At the end of the day, it's a business. A lot of people, some people understand, but some people don't. It's like, if it secures your family's future and stuff like that, yeah, do it. On the other end of the scale, you've got the bottle shop that's gone out of business on Monday. So it's kind of, you can't have it both ways. You can't, as a consumer, I don't think you can anyway, to a certain degree. You have to have some kind of understanding of potential plights or promotions in the industry, I guess. So I don't know. It's just my 2 cents.
Yeah. No, from what you were just talking about, I'm trying to find a comment somebody made. It was the venerable Matthew Curtis, the exemplary professional beer communicator. Kind of like he kind of talked about. I mean, kind of saying, such a right. Okay, I'm not going to hold him back on this. It was such a fence-sitting comment about, good, well, great, and really well done to Magic Rock, blah blah blah. But I kind of like, I wish breweries weren't so focused on being kind of like growth orientated and were more kind of concerned about kind of like community and blah 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 and all this kind of like stuff. And I'm thinking that is such the comment of someone who is caught up in this kind of beer world, and also is really kind of like blinkered to the purpose of a business endeavor. I mean, you open a business to make money. You I mean, some people might set out with certain ideologies to kind of like to change the world, but that's eventually, even when you've got 5 people working for you, maybe you can still hold on to this kind of ideology of like changing the world or something silly. I mean, it happens in various walks of life and in various endeavors, but when you start growing, you have demand. You've got to grow. Then you bring more people in. When you bring more people, and you have more responsibility as someone who sits above that, as a director of whatever position in that senior position. You've got responsibility to people because people rely on you to keep them in work, to feed their families, to keep their house, to keep the roof over their head, keep the food on their plate. And it becomes a lot more complex, and so therefore, I don't think you can hold on to very simplistic ideologies, and so you've got to be realistic because it becomes real in a very, very honest way. Then, so I mean, what we enjoy is sometimes kind of I think misconstrued as an art form. It's a great ability. It's craftsmanship and stuff like that. But it troubles me nowadays, I think, where people get caught up in this kind of the artistry and the art form and stuff, because it is a business endeavor at the end of the day.
Exactly. You don't know what the future holds for your own business as well, do you? You could be 2 years down the line and for one reason or another, it just drops off, and you think, I should have taken that deal when I had it.
It's playing the fruit machine, isn't it? You know what I mean? If you're pressing those buttons,
exactly.
You've got.
Well, and also when
you might hit, and then what you mean that 18 quid in the fruity that you have all goes down the pan.
Yeah, exactly. So
because it's such a fast moving.
Well, you think of all these companies, Beavertown, Magic Rock. They're actually really young companies. They're not established companies that have been around for ages and ages, and they've seen exponential amounts of growth year on year. So so you bring these people on, you have to keep growing, or you stagnate, and someone else will just take your place. It's as simple as that. Another brewery would like Magic Rocks in Huddersfield. How many breweries are around there in Leeds, Manchester, everywhere in that sort of general locale that could just swoop in and take their place? So you have to keep growing. Yeah. There's no way around it. Otherwise, you just stagnate and then you go on.
Well, I think, not that I don't think I'm being insulting in this way at all, but for example, look at Manchester. For such a long time, Marble were the only show in town, really, besides kind of the bigger boys, Robinsons and Lees and stuff like that. And it was just Marble. And for a city like Manchester, what a hell of a lot of interest going on. Marble, great brewery, but Cloudwater came along with a whole different kind of set of cards, and then they took over the town, didn't they? Really, Marble have done what they've done, and I think they make some great beer. But when you think of Manchester and craft beer at the moment, you think of Cloudwater, and that could happen if Magic Rock didn't continue and evolve and move to that next level. What they need to do, like Beavertown have, like Brewdog have, once upon a time, Thornbridge were just at Thornbridge Hall. They had to build up Riverside Brewery, which is a long, long time ago now. But you've got to keep moving, because if not, somebody surpasses you, exactly. And then people forget about you.
Yeah, was it Wonder Beyond in Manchester, aren't they? I think.
Yeah.
So you got them, you got Track, Cloudwater, Marble.
Exactly. Because Magic Rock have built something in Huddersfield, but who says someone doesn't come and build another brewery in Huddersfield and grab everyone's attention, because everybody's got a bit complacent about Magic Rock? And I think to a certain degree, I think they have. Even though, as we said on our last episode, we kind of waxed lyrical about them having probably the best, most comprehensive core range around, and they have.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't spark the interest of the typical kind of craft beer enthusiast kind of drinker, people who go on these kind of fucking things and go on Twitter and Instagram and stuff. It doesn't spark that interest, because you can only take that one photograph of your can of Cannonball, can't you?
Yeah.
You can take a new picture of a different Verdant beer every week.
Yeah, one thing I know pretty much is not going to happen again is the Freeze Company and the Big Dipper are not going to happen again, I would assume.
Yeah, well, sort of Cloudwater have nailed their flags to the mast, to use a Brewdog expression. So that if they gave Beavertown so much shit that if they
that would be huge if that happens. I think that would get a lot of stick.
Were Magic Rock at Friends and Family?
Yes,
they were. Oh.
But Seshfest coming up in a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to see the mass exodus?
You have the extravagant part 2.
Or is Lion not as offensive? It's not Heineken. I think that's one of the things why people aren't reacting in such an aggressive way. When I were up at my local kind of beer shop, there were a couple of us had a little chat about it. It's like, why is that such a why was that so divisive? It was because Beavertown were one of the early ones, a very big one of the first big one of that kind of era. And also, one person brought up that it's because a year previously Logan had talked about in his keynote speech at the first Beaver X about the being ferociously. Did somebody else say ferociously independent? Did somebody else say that today?
Oh, really?
Was that some kind of craft beer bastion who maybe sold 20% of his business about 10 years ago, and then sold, got a load of money from a big investor a couple of years ago as well. It's funny how that works, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Fiercely independently.
Yeah.
Besides the people who own Sky Vodka owning a certain percentage.
Besides the 22%.
22% who also own I think outright at the Anchor Brewery in San Francisco, and then that kind of hedge fund company who own another 33% or something like that. It's funny how that works.
The thing is, I love local breweries. I love those sort of like small independent things, and that's what pushes innovation and everything like that. And that's always going to be there. And it's just the beer scene's growing up.
Yeah,
and
it's
it's just a new and big beer is seeing they're seeing. Obviously, it's still a very tiny percentage craft beer. It's like 6% of the overall beer sold. But big beer are still seeing that the beer is selling, so they want to be involved in it. So they're going to naturally reach out and try and buy these bigger craft breweries.
Another thing, the big branded beers are actually dropping as well. So they want to keep their fingers in the
stay relevant.
Yeah.
I don't think it's about buying out to kind of like to wipe away stuff. I mean, I don't think it's about that, especially in this instance. But I think what Jake said, I think that was really that was nail on the head. And I think that's one thing a lot of people have realised it's the British craft beer scene is growing up, and because it's such a young thing, we've never experienced this.
Yeah, not like America.
Which is why people are kind of exactly.
Yeah,
in America they have, and I mean because it's such a small thing. Obviously, we're a small country, so therefore the bubble is even smaller. So focus is even more kind of like tight. But I think that is it. I mean, people are used to it. I think people are getting used to it now. But I mean, I said this when Beavertown kind of appeared. It's a cyclical thing.
Yeah.
When Magic Rock have got to this position, they kind of ascend and become something beyond that, and then somebody else moves up and takes that place. I mean, you see it all the time. I mean, for me, if you're going to go just West Yorkshire, Magic Rock were one of the pioneers of of craft beer in West Yorkshire. I mean, one thing I've got to say, I mean, I could bang on about Magic Rock because I've got a lot of history with these guys, but the branding is absolutely responsible for inspiring so many breweries. It set the mark. It set the measuring stick for everybody else aspired to. Okay, a lot of people have surpassed it in some ways, depending on how you want to kind of review that. But they set the standard. They made everybody think about kind of like branding in a very serious way, and that's what brought them kind of like to the dance in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean,
so that can't be overlooked.
There's rumours of another one next week, isn't there? So they reckon Monday that's potentially could be announced. So it's like,
oh, really? No.
Yeah. So that's.
I know there's two names. But I was also saying, I mean, that kind of that same thing for me. So Magic Rock are kind of like moving up, but I mean, for me, I think North have taken that kind of spot what Magic Rock had 5 years ago of the kind of exciting local brewery pushing things.
They're producing some amazing beers.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, if they progress in the way that they progress, there'll be another brewery that opens in 3-4 years who'll take their spot. It's a healthy kind of like rotating kind of like system in that way.
But it's amazing what people really losing their shit over it online and stuff. It's like, really? It's probably just me, but
yeah.
But there's more important things to worry about.
Well, it's the thing is, I can see people getting upset about stuff. I can actually see why it's the football team thing.
Yeah,
it's my
favorite band.
It is. It is the lead singer being replaced in the.
So I don't know how that works. But anyway.
So I do see it's just me personally. Like now, I think 4 or 5 years ago, I probably would have been more up in arms about it and just I'm not drinking it again. But it's just the norm now. This is the new normal. It's just what's going to happen. It's just how these companies that a lot of the time, I mean, these companies aren't making loads and loads of money. It's not a big cash cow business to have one of these breweries. They're making enough. They're doing okay, but like it's on a shoestring a lot of the time. And yeah, the whole I mean, craft beer is like that in general, isn't it? I mean, you take the bottle shop going under.
Yeah,
they had that huge investment, and then they still went under.
That was quite a few months ago.
Yeah.
Bet on the wrong horse, it seems.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, you could see that from a mile, but that's probably another conversation.
We'll talk about that later.
The comments are going wild. I don't know how far back I'm going to go because they're. Let's just see if we can skim through them.
But thank you very much for all your comments.
Yeah, we love it. We're too busy talking amongst ourselves to dip in.
Talk about, I guess it's one of those days, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. There's no Simon is still trying to eat toad in the hole. I don't know
do you know what? He had his oven. He didn't have he didn't preheat his oven, did he?
No.
Fucking useless.
Oh dear. I've got something to say about that later, but so we'll get on to that. Double barreled. This is from Pint Size. Double barreled. It's not like eating topsoil in quotation marks. I think that was one of Rob's.
It's not like eating it.
Yeah.
It's like you're smelling it.
Yeah.
You know what it's like, Ollie. He can't pull me up on odd things to say.
No.
I think one of his tasting notes on his last video was Brexit. So
smells like Brexit. Long Straw Stewart is drinking the banana beer by Wales or Marston's. I haven't had that in quite some time.
They've done a rebrand recently, I think.
Have they?
It looks well. I've not seen that label.
Pete is on the Shindigger Pilsner, £4 at his local co-op. Oh, they've sold out too. Bloody hell. Yeah. But it's got a Troubles. I don't know if he's talking about the beer or just his.
Where's the benefit of this? For the independent, £4.
£4.
Pilsner. Sounds like a rip-off for me. If it's available in larger numbers, more at your convenience, it should be cheaper. Anyway, let's step off that soapbox.
Yeah. Ollie's got another good comment here. Has there been a craft brewery buyout in the past 5 years where the quality of the brews have dive bombed ever since? And there probably hasn't, has there? It's not. No one's killed a brand. I mean, if anything, like Camden, I've had quite a lot of their stuff because of Tesco's, and it's actually been pretty decent.
Yeah, probably one of the
much Beavertown, but
no, yeah,
for other reasons. I don't know about you guys. I'm not.
No, I haven't touched Beavertown in quite a while actually, just because I don't see it. You don't see it because they've probably been dropped by all the independent bottle shops.
Still see it. I saw it last night. It was on Loop Lloyd Draft in Canterbury.
Do you know what? As I was walking into Yorkham at lunchtime today, 3 guys came out of Pizza Express with pizza boxes in their hands, and each of them were holding and drinking as they was walking out, holding and drinking a can of neck oil. So that's it. That's what it has become, and I don't mean that in a detrimental way. Yeah. But that's not a bad thing. At least they didn't have a can of Stella, did they?
No. Yeah, I remember neck oil in a bottle. God.
The few more comments. They're talking about the speculation of the rumoured takeover next week. Siren's been mentioned. Tiny Rebel, Northern Monk. I don't think Northern Monk are quite there yet. I think there's
not yet, but I don't think it's. I think maybe definitely within the next 3 years.
Yeah,
2 maybe.
Yeah.
Rebels. Stephen Wells not a fan of Magic Rock at the moment, saying dropping in the cans are dropping in quality. Sorcery is a dank mess.
I don't drink it. I like Common Grounds.
I've had it once.
Yeah. Oh, and he's also saying he's lost 3 bottle shops in his area alone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's happening. Because there was a few other bottle shops went under this week as well, wasn't there?
I don't know. Oh, there was another. I can't remember. I did see
Beer Boutique closed.
Yeah.
I think that's just London. I think it's inevitable. It's like opening a restaurant in London. You're
They'll
lucky
do
if you last 2 years.
Yeah. Another one
Shit
will pop up. Another one will pop up, and something will happen.
I mean, but that's London, isn't it? I mean, in comparison, my local shop will not suffer in that way because it's more than that as well. See, this is one thing, right? I had a guy who was involved in some pointless back and forth on on Twitter. He was banging on about, every £10 spent in the is £10 that won't be spent at like my shop. I'm like, well, my local bottle shop is more than that. Okay, you can drink in. They do a load of events. They've got like they have like a monthly kind of spoken word and poetry night. They have record club, which is like a monthly thing. They have gigs on there. They have like craft workshops. They have loads of stuff, book groups, all sorts of things. You can't just be, and it's a social hub as well. It's a community hub. That's what Gav always tried to make it. That's good. Kind of the evolution of the local pub in that sense. This is London for you. You mean they open the doors at 11 o'clock because you obviously can't. You're not going to go and buy beer at 9 in the morning, and they close the doors at 6, and then they're surprised when people aren't knocking the doors down.
Yeah.
It's how it works. You've got to be more than that. You've got to be more than just a retail unit. And my friends down in Plymouth, great example. Down at Vessel in Plymouth. I mean, they do loads of events as well. They're the community hub, especially the fostering that kind of craft beer community in a relatively new location for good beer. But
might be a quiz.
Fill the bar for like a Cantillon tasting.
A quiz night or something like that. But he's keeping it busy though all of the time. It's exactly people coming in. So and then they just spend a few quid bottles of whatever, drinking. It's good.
No one knows you were living. I mean, that's it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing.
Good to you.
Yeah.
That's good. Right, shall we crack open this?
I know we went on a big old tangent there.
Yeah, good.
We could continue.
Yeah. We'll have this beer, then we'll.
That's who's introducing this one?
So it's Mr. Derbyshire.
All right. Well, as it happens, I'm gonna tonight. If anybody's actually noticed, one beer is in my Honest Brew glass, as it should be. One beer was in my bottle shop glass, which I stole from the shop. It don't matter now; they closed down.
That's a piece of history.
And my third beer is going to be in my Magic Rock glass.
I'm doing.
It's all about the details, I tell you.
Bottle shop here as well.
Did you nick that as well, you scumbag?
I've got. I didn't nick them. So I was given. I was actually given two. I was given one by the bottle shop in Margate. It was having Christmas. I'm like, thanks. And my good friend Simon gave me one a few weeks ago.
I was buying that glass and an expensive bottle.
Yeah.
When there were 3 members of staff and they were fucking around, and there were 2 people who queued up on the wrong side, and they had some really shitty. They were like umming and ahhing over a lager or something. I'm like, I've got like a £13 bottle of beer here. I'm going to buy a glass off you. You're completely ignoring me. So I put the bottle back on the shelf and I put the glass in my bag.
Yeah, I didn't nick these 2 bottle shop glasses. I nicked 2 last night, but not these 2.
But so the third and final beer of this evening, our little kind of spotlight on Double Barrel Brewery, is the Red Jungle Fowl.
Yeah,
which is a raspberry and beetroot goes at 5% ABV. We'll give you a little bit of spiel about the ingredients. The hops are Hallertau Mittel Fruit. The hops are Marisotta, lager malt, acidulated malt, and wheat malt. The yeast is USO5, which is a curious yeast to use for a goes. So maybe the pulling out that kind of acidity and stuff from the acidulated malt.
Mm-hmm.
Curious in that sense. So you've got a really kind of like neutral yeast in that sense, which I'm surprised. Obviously, you're going to bring a bit of tartness from the additions of raspberries, raspberry puree, coriander seeds, sea salt, as you'd expect from a goat, and beetroot powder.
Powder? Wow. Right. Wow. Okay. I've had one beer with beetroot in it before. I had a Hefeweizen about 4 years ago.
Didn't Time and Tide do a beetroot gozer?
They done two. They done one with chips and one without.
All right.
Yeah.
It's the colour of watermelon flesh.
It is.
Yeah. It's got that vibe. It's not as dark as I thought it would be.
No, I was expecting it to be like a root, like a crimson beer.
Yeah, because beetroot just like stains everything, doesn't it? I was expecting it to be like purple, like similar to the colour of the label there on the back.
Yeah,
whereas
that's right. That's where I thought. That's where I was at, and hence the red jungle fowl, which is plastered across.
Yeah,
I'm going to say, is Craig
native of South Asia, India. I've seen them and go. Anyway, don't know about that.
It looks insane. It looks like a really scary bird. It looks like some kind of like Jerry Anderson puppet.
Yeah. It's a cock.
Looks like a bit of a cock.
Yeah. So just get an aroma on this thing then.
Absolutely.
Wow. That's different.
It's actually really muted for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting the raspberries for sure.
But because it is that earthy minerality of beetroot.
I was expecting more.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, on that regard, especially the earthiness.
You get that saltiness, don't you? Definitely got the saline kind of note.
Yeah.
A bit of kind of like water biscuit going on as well.
Surprisingly, for the amount of adjuncts in it, surprisingly muted.
It is muted. Definitely getting the raspberries though.
Yeah. Yeah. So get the raspberries and the salt.
Yeah.
Shall we go for it?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. R.I.P. bottle shop. Like the taste though. Wow.
Yeah.
Reminds me of like a boiled sweet.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, not that I'm somebody who has boiled sweets very often, but it reminds me from buying a bag of Jolly Ranchers on the from way back from San Francisco. It's watermelon Jolly Ranchers and just the general red one. The red,
red coloured.
Red boiled sweets.
That kind of saltiness, that's the thing that stays.
Yeah, it has quite a bizarre mouthfeel, kind of like it's kind of fullish.
It's like really
kind of dry at the same time.
The sound is really there's like a little punchy little bit of soundness, but then it's like gone, isn't it? It's quite a strange brew.
I'm not getting that beetroot so much, or the earthiness as much as I was kind of expecting.
Yeah, it's like it's like slightly sherbety. It's
sherbet.
It's not necessarily screaming gozer to me. It's not a.
To me, it's more of a Berliner Weiss type. A little bit.
No, I don't get that. I don't get the acidity. It's got a real odd quality. It's that kind of like it builds and kind of fills out and then just goes like coagulates in a way.
Yeah.
What a word.
Yeah. It almost like froths up in your mouth.
Yeah. Without frothing up.
Yeah. It's weird.
I think that's the saltiness.
It is a strange beer. I like it, but
I
just don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's one of those beers you think, I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I think it needs a little bit more in one direction, just make it a bit more characterful in that sense. I think beef up the beetroot, just to make the colour a bit more exaggerated, just because that looks fun on people's Instagram accounts.
Yeah.
And then beef up the fruit elements. I'd say. I think you could add another fruit to it as well, and just to make it a bit more punchy. Because it's on a bit of a level. It's not, and once again, well made. Nothing wrong with it. I think it just needs a little bit more character.
Yeah, and USO 5 is that's not a particularly common beer to use in like a sour style, is it?
No, that's pale ale yeast, really. American pale ale yeast.
Best before the 13th of May.
Okay.
So, slightly older, but a beer like this.
Shall we have a look at Untapped?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go for it.
See what they do. Let's see what everyone thought about it. So this is 3.6. So yeah, I think that's fair enough.
Fair.
I disagree with that. This is probably the most rated of their beers. I mean, 602 ratings, 546 unique, and then 678 this month, which is not bad for such a tiny little brewery. So what we got on here then? I will be looking for the high ratings and the silly names. Oh, she liked it.
Helena B.
Helena B. She get a 4.5. Fair enough. At London Brew Lab, Beer Lab. I don't know where that is.
Yeah, that's in Brixton.
Ah, right.
Yeah, nice little place.
Yeah. No. You haven't got a funny name. You don't give it a high rating. We're going to stick with it until we get there. It's all very London, but Precarium. That's actually Manchester. So it's getting around a little bit. No, it's all so far quite high ratings.
Mark D didn't like it.
Mark D only get a 2, but he did earn the God Save the Queen badge level 17, which is a very important badge of the God Save the Queen Rangers. Come on, people! I mean, you got entertaining kind of names. I want some bad comments as well. Come on, bring it on. No. Come on.
Everyone's pretty polite.
Instagram, Untapped have been disappointed on the review of that.
I thought there might have been like a Michael Jackson comment, like "beat it" or something.
What about Red Jungle Fowl?
Just
his famous song. You know his famous Michael Jackson song, Red Jungle Fowl.
Yeah, you know that one. But no, just yeah. But yeah, it's one of them kind of. It feels like a quirky kind of beer.
It's
maybe now.
It's almost yogurty now. It's taken on a bit of a yogurt, like raspberry yogurt flavour. So someone dropped salt in my raspberry yogurt.
It's just not gone far enough. I mean, I think if you're going to say raspberries and beetroot's a bold decision, isn't it? So
really go with it.
This is the third beer with beetroot I've had, and I still find them interested. It's just like that no one does them, so it's like,
yeah, I've had a couple. With beetroot,
but earthy, bit of this, bit of that. But yeah, I think I would like to go and visit the tap room. It's quite away from the station though, by the looks of it. Although it's not far out of London, it's like 25 minutes.
No, they're Reading, aren't they?
Yeah, so it's not far.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in Reading these days. I think I definitely wouldn't mind a bit of a visit to Reading. So I mean, obviously Siren being the main ones. I don't think it's going to be Siren who gets bought out.
No, neither do I. I think
I like the people at Siren. Everybody I know at Siren is really nice.
I'd say Thornbridge or Tiny Rebel. I think they're the two.
They're my tips. But also there's was it New Wharf? Kevin Black's brewery there, their Reading area. Elusive as well. Andy Parker's fantastic brewery as well. I think Reading's it's up and coming. Is Reading? I think Reading's worth is going to be our next. If Newcastle isn't doable, it's going to be our next jaunt is Reading. Kevin will do a beer with us,
and then it's only 25 minutes from Euston as well, so we can just nip into London for a day.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, there you go.
Really, really close. Yeah.
Everyone's a winner. I've been to Reading once to the Reading Festival.
Yeah, I've never been to that.
It's where I met my wife.
The Reading
Really?
Festival.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh, well.
Yeah, there you go.
Probably wasn't the same year that I was there.
No.
I think that was 94.
Yeah.
So.
Mine was 2009, but there you go.
You probably was still at like junior school.
Yeah, Elusive have just been announced at the Generation Craft Festival as well today. In Deal in August, so
Cool.
some really interesting breweries going there.
I am unabashedly kind of biased.
Yeah. But no, I've really enjoyed these beers. To be
Me too.
fair,
It's one of those things where they've all been solid, haven't they? They've all been pretty solid, but you can still tell it's like a new brewery.
Yeah,
because you think every beer we've had has had different yeast strains, and like sort of different sort of like malt bills, like different like hops. They're trying new things
as well with that first one.
Experimenting and stuff. It's great. It's just to see what works, what doesn't work, and get feedback and stuff like that. But they've got a few other beers that sound really cool.
They started investing in some barrels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think with barrel, when you double barreled,
barrel
stuff, and that takes a couple of years to get up and running, doesn't it?
They'll have a couple. Yeah.
But I mean, as far as like just first efforts and first commercial available stuff, I mean, well presented, well made, no issues at all. I mean, everything that we're picking out as being kind of like shortcomings, they're just more like, if given the opportunity, what you could improve really. But I think there's nothing wrong with any of them. They're all very enjoyable beers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's really there's no kind of Simon Martin live feed here. So, but no, it's, is there any more comments?
There's an absolute dickload. But it's all pleasantries.
Cool.
They're sort of drunken ones on the chat.
Hey.
Stephen Wells is saying how much he likes his channel.
Oh.
Clueless
Drinker says, add passion fruit like every other brewery recently.
Yeah.
Cynical.
So he's getting hot out at the moment, isn't he? He was saying.
Yeah, salty yogurt. That was my nickname in high school, so I don't know where he's got that from. Yeah, 35-mile Longstraw Stewart's doing a 35-mile run tomorrow. Wow. Bloody hell.
Stuart Pickard?
No, Longstraw Stewart in the chat.
Pickard running 35 miles, he's going to die. I know he cycles a bit, but he's not running 35 miles.
No.
He usually gets like 4 buses to get 35 miles.
You're right. Cycling.
Go to a bottle shop in Ossett.
God. No, I won't be doing a 35-mile run tomorrow.
No, not at all. But yeah, so anyway, I think we'll clear off, leave it there. Thanks for everyone in the chat. The chat's been amazing. It's like, that doesn't happen. Well, on this channel anyway. But yeah, so I don't know how many, up to 10 people at one time. That's amazing.
Great.
Thanks very much there. Thanks to my good friends Rob and Jake for joining me, and thanks to Honest Brew. Check out the coupon code down below if you're in the UK, of course. Sorry, drunken one. And yeah, and thanks to Double Barreled for putting these beers out there for us to try.
Yeah.
Anyway, till the next one, a couple of weeks or so, for episode 18 of Good Beer Live. We'll see you later. Cheers.
Are we still going?